Oh, my friends, why do I play FIFA 23? Because it reminds me of football. Why do I like football? Well, because I grew up in a time where kids were playing outside a lot, so we played football and enjoyed to look at our own national team for inspiration. We had our favorite football clubs too, and football was a little bit less about the money than it is now. Football players were allowed more freedom on the pitch than they are now, when they are expected to find the fastest and efficient way of reaching the goal, and the focus is on fitness and speed rather than on art of playing. In a way, modern football looks to me like a cyborg war compared to the past, where it was more chill and fun to look at. There are still moments when it does feel like magic, like the final of the recent World Cup between France and Argentina, each of them having a magnificent artist in their teams. I'm talking, of course, about Mbappe and Messi. This type of players and events still inspire us to fire up a video game and make our own dream team. FIFA 23 is the only acceptable looking football game in today's video game landscape. Football has much more work to do if they are to be taken seriously. Right now their players move like robots without personality. The gameplay is bare bones and there is no detail, not even net physics from what I noticed. FIFA 23 has natural ball physics, natural player movements, really nice graphics and realistic net physics. As good as it sounds, FIFA 23 has many problems. Problems that for me make the experience annoying, and it always leaves me saying things like, I wish it was like this instead of this, or I wish they would remove this, or I wish they would work more on this aspect, so I will be going with you on some of these things. At the moment it seems that when I get annoyed of some problems of the single player, I switch to the multiplayer, and when I get annoyed of the problems within multiplayer, I switch back to single player, and so on. It's quite disappointing. FIFA 23 is mainly marketed, let's face it, to the multiplayer aspect. In particular, the FIFA Ultimate Team mode, where you get to build your own dream team and face opponents online to climb up the divisions. Be part of competitions or compete in certain challenges. During this process, you earn points, and with these points you buy new players for your team. It sounds fun and great on paper, until you realize that it can be an addictive trap. The best players in the game cost millions, and you'll have to play thousands of matches in order to get them. You can make a good team with players that cost hundreds of thousands, like my hero Gheorghe Hagi, but to get legends like Ronaldo or Pele, you can forget it. You can try and become a good trader in the game. There are many videos on YouTube explaining how to trade player cards in the game to make more points, but honestly I just want to play football and not flip player cards all day. You can also pay for player packs, and that is a gambling experience because it's like a casino, roulette or slot machines. You don't know what players you're going to get for your money, and so if you get some lame players, you'll try again and again until you get good players. You then look at your wallet and notice a giant wormhole. I myself don't buy any player packs. It feels like a half scam to me. I already paid the full price of the game, and it's already enough for this recycled yearly game with very few improvements done each year. When you get your half-assed dream team like I have, you'll play a lot of division rivals, and initially you'll think it's fun for a while, but as you get better you will reach another wall of disappointment, and that's because of the gameplay and how people use it. I'm not the best player in the world, but I know how to play the game, and I reached Division 3. Here's what I noticed. When I play the game, I play it like real-life football. I play creatively. If Hagi or Dembele or Vinicius Jr. get the ball, I will try and dribble with them or play smart and do a special decisive pass. I will try to score a nice goal, and that's what you see on my replay footage from this game mode. When my opponents play the game, they just do 3 or 4 passes. Try to run with Haaland and exploit his sprinting capabilities and score a simple goal, or pass it from the corner line to the open player in the box and score a simple goal like that. If I mark that open player, then they will still score with an impossible angle shot because EA promotes lazy playing and not creative football. In fact, in one of the updates, they nerfed the ability of the defender to catch up to the cyborgs like Haaland. The only way to defend that is to run with the defender back before Haaland gets the pass. And you have to run in a straight line, because if you run diagonally, you'll lose ground and get wrecked. So I'm over here with creative realistic style of football playing, scoring a few nice goals, but each time the opponent manages, despite my good defending, to score with simple tactics and overpowered players. That ends up feeling very demotivating to play the game, because my efforts to be different and good are not rewarded, but instead you'll get rewarded in FIFA 23 only if you do lots of grinding, spending a ton of time in trading player cards or buying many player packs. No wonder they play like zombies, because grinding and playing thousands of games will probably remove all the fun out of the game and make you into a FIFA zombie. I can't possibly imagine how it's fun for these players to score in the same way all the time. It makes me disappointed to be part of the human race when I see that the majority of players play like absolute robots. I do win with my style of playing, but it just feels like such a waste of time from my life when I lose to these type of players. And sometimes they make even me to start playing like them to recover if they lead the game by 2-0 or something. I still play the game because occasionally you do get to play a beautiful match with an opponent just like you who plays for the art of football and to have fun, and those moments are indeed memorable. But is it worth it to go through all this mess just so you can have an occasional fun game? I think not, and I think this could be fixed with some tweaks to the gameplay, like nerfing the sprint of the cyborgs, but EA doesn't do that because once they do that, their zombie players won't be able to win games, and if they don't win games, they will stop buying cars and pumping money into EA's pocket. They will stop playing the game and find another game that satisfies their zombie minds. If you do manage to get to the higher pro player divisions, there you have to completely forget about football and have your game exploitation tricks learned, so I'd rather stay comfortably in Division 6-5 where the game still resembles football somewhat. When I get fed up of these zombies, I switch to Silver Launch. In there you might find more interesting players because you can't use people like Haaland in there. In there you have to play with only silver quality players, so it's more about the skill, because there are no cyborgs. It takes some time to replace all your players in the squad and sub, so I wish they had a way to have a different team setups through which you could switch with one button. The only downside of Silver Lounge is you are stuck with average players and you won't get to play with the players that made history in the sport. But even here, there are those who won't respect your play, in the sense that I have had players rage quit and disconnect from the game on purpose in the first half of the game if I was leading by 2-0. I've met someone who told me that in some cases he even rage quits at 1-0. I am the type of player that have come back from being led by 2-0, 3-0 and won the game. I have also seen other players who came back from my 3-0 and beat me with 5-3. So to me, the type of players that rage quit are of a very low character, and they add more frustration to my experience. I can even lose and still have fun against an interesting player because maybe I have something to learn. Such simple-minded fools in this game, and I'm getting tired of it. It's either they win with their cyborg player sprint, or if they lose by 2-0 they rage quit. I even had someone rage quit at minute 25, so that's after 2 minutes of playing in real time. So when I get annoyed of all this, I go to single player, which used to be my go-to mode. It is only recently that I got involved into multiplayer. Single player. What could go wrong in career mode? Well, everything. You want to build a player in your youth academy? Doesn't matter that you score a decent amount of goals with him, it will take 3 or more seasons for your player to get over 80 overall rating. You think if you score 50 goals with your main striker in a season, that he will get to 90 level skill? No deal. He will only increase by 1 or 2 levels. You want to do dribbling in legendary difficulty? Tough luck, because AI defenders will see through most of your tricks and you'll have to recycle the ball with simple passes until you find that free striker and score a simple goal, because EA wants you to be simple, even in single player. I know that I am playing legendary difficulty and I should be stopped by the defender, but in a natural, entertaining way, not with the boring, lifeless AI system that they have now. I won many championships in legendary difficulty. It's the only difficulty I consider acceptable because all the rest are too easy. So I'm not just ranting because I can't win. I win, but I'm bored. EA wants you to play thousands of games, even in single player, before you see your player grow into what you truly want. There is no dynamic player growth according to realistic rules. There's only this predefined fitness and skill training growth according to a potential that no one understands. It should be like in real life. You scored 10 goals in Champions League, your value as a player should have a significant boost because you demonstrated to the world that you are a top player, can handle pressure and be efficient. Same with you as the coach. You managed to get to the semifinals or win the Champions League, you should get job offers from top clubs of the world, but you don't. You have to grind more seasons for that. It's absurd, because it doesn't reward your gameplay dynamically. There is of course the other side of annoyance where the club gives you objectives like sign a player from Asia. This is absolute trash. I have my own plan. I have my favorite players that are doing very well, and I have upcoming players from my youth academy. I don't need to buy an extra player from Asia or from anywhere else right now. Oh, another objective, sell 2 players. No, I don't need to do that. We are doing great, and this fictional club is making tons of money, so stop with these stupid objectives, EA. Green bars, everywhere green bars. You have to fill green bars of morale with repetitive dialogue choices, either as the coach talking to the press or messaging with the players. Why? This is a complete loss of time. There's no respect to your time in this game, especially when the AI can score if it wants. EA can't make an AI that scores through skills, so sometimes you will see these incredibly fast passes that you can't intercept. It almost looks like handball on overdrive, in and around your box, and it ends with an impossible angle goal or something like that. You will see your own defenders move away from the ball if you don't manually control them, but you can't manually control them all, so the game exploits this when it wants to score in unnatural ways. Here's an example. I won a game with Real Madrid, qualifying to the next stage of the Champions League. I'm talking Real Madrid, the best team in the world, with my team of 69, 70 rated players. That's a miracle, right? But right after the Real Madrid game, I play with like a low-ranking team from the Romanian league, and they managed to beat me and I can't score against them because of EA scripting. Like this shouldn't be possible. It's not realistic, it feels like crap. I beat Real Madrid with 3-0 in that match, and then I get beaten with like 2-1 by the last team in the Romanian league, with like 57 rated players. It feels like when I win, it's scripted for me to win and they let me win. And when I lose, it's scripted for me to lose. How about just letting the game be natural? Here's what I mean by this. When I score, their defenders do a lot of crappy mistakes and they don't act organized and I can just pass through them and score easily, even on legendary difficulty. When it's scripted for me to lose, then suddenly all their defenders don't make any mistakes, it's harder to pass even in the middle of the pitch, and it's harder to score. Their goalkeeper is a champion at saving, even though he's rated like 60. It makes no sense, guys. A game is about 15 minutes of your real life time. You only have one life, and so what are we doing giving away moments of our life to these game companies that only want to exploit us? They don't give a shit about you, they don't want to make a good AI, they don't want us to have meaningful football simulation moments in both single player and multiplayer. They only want us to grind in a game designed not for us to have real fun, but just for us to be stuck and playing like an addicted zombie, like a drunk stuck to drinking some poor quality spirit filtered through bread, or stuck on the wrong channel and chained to a dead camel, like Scooter would say. So, EA, I know you don't care, but this game would actually be good if you would do a few simple things like nerf the sprint in multiplayer, make a naturally skilled AI for the AI controlled players, add dynamic player growth to the players in career mode. In short, if you suck, you should get punished. If you're good, you should be rewarded. Make it possible for us to have players like Pele in multiplayer without having to spend all our lives in the game to get him. Don't make players be in your game because of addictive grinding, but because of pure fun. I can give you an example of such a game. Counter-Strike 1.6. That game didn't have any XP grind or green bars to fill or weapon packs or anything. It had good level design and good game mechanics. People still play it today, despite of the existence of CSGO. And that game was made in 2000, 1999, 2000, something like that. If CSGO wouldn't be invented, all the Counter-Strike fanbase would still be on good old 1.6. But bottom line, don't make a manipulative half-assed game, make a good football game, and people will play it for 20 years. And stop wasting budget on the woke side. Focus all your resources on men's football because that's why we play this game. The SJW activists don't play your game. We do. We don't need you to make two half-assed experiences. Make one, but good. Good single player, good multiplayer is that easy. Here's another example with the woke business. At any club that you play in career mode, you'll have the same stuff working for you. It's always the same black independent woman escorting the new players in your club and escorting the players that are leaving out of the club. Even if you play in the Romanian league, where it would make no sense, never mind. I don't want to be considered a racist by what I say, but this is ridiculous. Yes, we do have all kinds of races present in football, like actual players, but the staff members usually in Romania are not so diverse. So cut out with that forced diversity politics in games, okay? That is all. This is Vostok Vlad, signing out.